In this video, I will show you with a real practical example, step by step, how to build and sell an API online without writing any single line of code. And the best part, it's totally free. So today, you will start a business online without any investment, and I will show you how to do that, starting from the idea, building, publishing, and selling. Not only that, in the bonus section, I will show you how to double your income and turn these APIs into online tools to have two income streams. Think about this video as a full course on building a real business with APIs online. If you are ready, let's get started. First, just in case you are new here and you don't know what is an API, it's simply a piece of software that connects applications together. And today, it's a very hot and trendy topic simply because APIs power both developers and automation systems. And automation today is one of the best and hot topics. This is why you have a great opportunity to start building APIs and sell them to everyone building automations today. Now, usually, when you want to build an API, you will see some codes like this one here. It's one of my APIs, by the way. Not only coding, you will need some technical skills to host the API online, get a server, manage it, and so on. We have a lot of technical details out there, and it will cost you at least like $10 to $20 to get started. But today, I will show you how to get started with $0. So, step number one, we need a no-code tool to build our API with. I will pick make.com. It's one of the best no-code automation tools out there. It helps you build almost anything you want easily. It's simple to learn. It's fully customizable. And they have a free plan to get started. Not only that, I have partnered with Make, and today they are providing you access to the Pro plan totally for free for 30 days. So you can test anything you want, build a business without paying anything, whether with the free plan or the free Pro plan with a link in the description below. So go grab it, sign up, and start totally for free. So after you sign up and log in, you will be in your dashboard like this one. Simply click on create a new scenario. I will start with a very basic example to help anyone understand the idea first, then we move into a real live example. So the first step is to add a webhooks module that triggers when we receive data. It's like having something listening to user requests, like an API. You will see now with the example, things will become simple and clear. Let's create a webhook. Just give it a name, for example, my API webhook, any name you want, and click on save. And now you will see a URL is generated. Just copy this URL. Let's try it. And let's open a new tab. Open the URL and you can see accepted. So this webhook is up and running and listening to our requests. Let's save. Now the next step, we want to simulate a real API first, like generating something and returning the result to the user. So what I will do simply is add another webhook that will return the response to the user. So we have the first one listening and the second one will return the response. In the body, I will return simply, this is a sample response. Click on save and let's save the scenario. And I will go here and enable immediate run, so this scenario will be enabled and listening always to new requests. So click on save, perfect, save again. And now let's go back to our tab, our browser, run. And you can see now we have, this is a sample response instead of accepted. So this is a very basic structure on how to build the backend API using webhooks inside Make. So one is listening to requests and the second is returning data to the user. So now in between, we can create any scenario you want, any workflow you want, and return the result back to the user. I hope you got the idea for now. It's very simple. Let's now start with a real example. So an API is like any other product you want to sell. It should solve a specific problem. So in our case, we are going to solve a problem for marketers, which is generating tweets with AI. But not any tweets, we are going to help content creators and ex-users generate tweets based on their own thoughts and their own content, plus a special templates they can use when they use our API. So we are selling something special for content creators. So let's start. In between here, we are going to add a new module. I will select OpenAI so we can generate tweets using AI. Simply in the connection, select your API key. If you don't have one, just add it with this button. Then select create a chat completion, select the model. I will go with GPT-4o, it's that simple. And simply in the messages here, I will add the first message, the system message. I will tell it that tweet must be max 280 characters. And let's go here to user. And with a simple prompt now to understand the concept first, generate a viral tweet about. And we are going to add a topic here. The topic will be the user input. We will see how to do this right now. So let's save and let's go back to our webhook here, open it, click on edit, and then show advanced settings. You will see you have something called data structure. Just click add and let's create a new data structure and let's call it tweet generator parameters, for example, whatever. And now click on add item and we will pass the topic as a parameter like this here, and it's a required parameter. And let's say it can be multi-line, for example, anything, and click on save, save, save. Now the webhook can accept input from the user, you will see right now. Now again to the OpenAI module, open it, and in the prompt, let's wait a little bit. In the prompt, simply here, select the topic from the webhook. So now the user can pass the topic through the webhook to the OpenAI API to generate based on his own input. Perfect, let's save. Open your browser again. Let's enter the URL of the webhook. And oops, we get a problem. We have the topic parameter which is required. Perfect. So simply to pass it, add a question mark, say topic is equal, for example, AI tools, any topic you want. Enter, and we got the response. Oops, this is a sample response. Why this happened? Simply because we need to update the webhook response here and set it to take our OpenAI module message from here, the message, content. Perfect. Save. Let's now try again. I will refresh, enter. Let's wait a little bit. And perfect. We got our tweet in the browser here. So our API here is working perfectly. So the user provides an input, we generate a tweet based on the input and returns it back with the webhook response. Perfect. Let's go a bit more advanced and turn this API we built into a more realistic and a real-world API that is really powerful and maybe people will love to buy from you by upgrading it to take two inputs. A user input plus a YouTube video ID. So the user can transform a YouTube video into several tweets. Let's see how we can do this. First, we will need an API to read the YouTube video transcript. We have this one, search-api.io. It also provides a free plan you can get started with, and they have this YouTube transcript endpoint. So you can extract any transcript from any YouTube video with this simple endpoint. And this is an example here you can see to get the transcript. So I will go again here, and in the webhook section, I will edit again and click on show advanced and then edit my data to add another parameter, which is the video ID. It's required, and here instead of topic, I will say user input. So the user can customize or add some custom instructions to the OpenAI model. Anyway, click on save, save, save. Now the webhook accepts two parameters, video ID and user input. The next step is we are going to add here a module to read from the search API, to read the transcript. So simply add a module. We don't have something specific for this API, so we are going to add the HTTP built-in module, which allows us to read anything from any API. So simply go here and click make a request, and here we have the URL. So I will go here again, I will grab this URL here, this example URL, and paste it here. But instead of this video ID here, I will pass the video ID from the webhook, and make sure to pass the API key here, your API key. In my case, I can get it from the dashboard and copy and simply go here and paste. So this is my API key, and now click on save. Now let's run this scenario once. I will go here to the webhook and I will enter user input, anything, simple tweet, and then we say and pass the video ID, and let's get one from YouTube like this one here. We got the ID, let's pass it here, enter, it's loading, and if you go here you will see the scenario is working and we see the results. So if you open the result of this module, you will see the input and the output. We have data and we have the transcript. You see the transcripts, the full transcript in JSON format, so we can easily integrate in our OpenAI module. Now, in order to read this output easily, we are going to parse it into JSON format. So here, add another module and search for JSON and select parse JSON and simply go here, select data. And now if you run again this scenario and trigger it, let's go back, you will see now it's working. This one is loading, we got the JSON. You can see we have transcripts containing all the data. Perfect. Now let's open again the OpenAI module to pass the video transcript. Let's try this. And now instead of saying generate, I will say transform the following YouTube transcript into 3 viral tweets. Transcripts, and simply pass the transcript array. And in the role, I will say, for example, consider user input when generating. And here is the user input, and let's pass it. Very basic prompts, just to show you the idea now, to help you understand the concept. You can play with the prompts, optimize them as we learn in the prompt engineering courses. But for now, let's keep things simple for everyone to understand. Let's save the scenario, and let's go now here and run the hook. Let's wait a little bit. And you can see now we got 3 tweets based on our YouTube video. Perfect. Now one last tip. Usually we return JSON with APIs, so developers can use them easily in their applications, and even those building automation workflows can use the data easily from a structured output. So here in the OpenAI module, in the system prompt, we can say the output must be only a valid JSON like this. And you can pass the JSON structure you want. And if you don't know anything about JSON, you can simply open, for example, any AI model like Claude or ChatGPT, whatever, and tell it what you are building. I'm building a tweet generator API that returns 2, 3 tweets. I want an example JSON response that has only the list of tweets. And it provides you with the JSON, you can see. Now it's somehow complex, let's keep it simple. Make it simple by keeping only the tweet text. And you can see now we have the tweets. Let's copy this example and paste it here. And instead of this text, I will simply say tweet 1, tweet 2, and tweet 3. Let's save and test this. Save the scenario. Let's open the browser again. Run. Hope it works. And perfect, we got the JSON. So our API now is ready. Let's see how we can sell it online. Again, for free. So again, open your browser and go to rapidapi.com. This is like a marketplace where you can publish your API totally for free and sell it. Sign up if you don't have an account. I will sign into my account now. And if you go here to my profile, you will see I publish a lot of APIs here and I'm selling them on the marketplace. But for you now, go to the studio if you are new and select add an API project. And I will say simply testing make API. Anything, select a category, for example, business, and click project description, generate tweets, add API project. Here you can add the logo to your API. It will appear in the marketplace description and so on. Your website URL if you have one. I don't want to waste time on this right now. I explained all this in detail in my API course. If you're interested, you can check it in the description below. But for now, we need to focus on the core work, which is making this API work, our API work on Rapid API. So here we have the base URL. Please focus very well. Click add URL and simply get the base URL, this one only, okay? The base URL, paste it here and click on save. Then go to definitions to create our endpoints. Here click on create a REST endpoint and let's say generate the tweets, and this will generate tweets based on YouTube videos. And now for the URL here, simply let's copy the webhook without the inputs like this and paste it here. Perfect. And now we need to add our parameters. So the first one is the user input and it's required, and the second one is the video ID. It's that simple. Set to required again, and let's save. So we have now the endpoint. Perfect. Let's view our API in the hub. While you are creating it, it's totally private. Nobody will see this except you, and when you are ready to sell, you can publish it. I will show you in a little bit how to do this. But for now, let's test the API. So you can see here we have the playground and we have here the parameters, we have the user input and the video ID. Let's say here, for example, add emojis. And for the video ID, I will grab it from here again, the one we tested before. So paste, and let's try this. Test endpoint. Let's wait a little bit. And perfect, we got the response from the API. This is the raw response and our headers and the text. Perfect. So after you are done with the API, you can go here to the documentation, you can go here and set your pricing, and then in the general section, you go down here and select I confirm to publish this API, and you will see it in the marketplace to start selling it. Just 2 tips before we move on to the bonus section. Here in the monetization, when you set your pricing, always consider 2 important factors. Your competitors, if you have one on the marketplace, and second, make sure to calculate your token cost and any APIs you are using, like this one here, the search API for transcripts, when pricing, so not to have your expenses more than the price you set for your API calls. As I mentioned, if you want to learn more about this, I have a full course on building and selling APIs you can find on my website. I will leave the link in the description below. Now it's time for the bonus part. How we can turn this system, this API we built, and double our income by creating a user interface or online tools on top of these APIs. Like this one, the Tube Digest I built on top of an API. You can see you can turn any YouTube video into detailed summaries and educational content in seconds. You can see here we have this simple UI built on top of the API. And the second one is Define Wise, which is a simple visual dictionary for kids. And by the way, both are free. You can test them right now if you want and see how simple and clean are these UIs. So how we can build user interfaces on top of our APIs. So maybe you can sell it online as a service or turn into an online tool or a micro SaaS business. Please focus. I'll be revealing exactly how I do this because it's somehow a special technique I discovered lately and I'll be sharing with you right now. If you go here into Tube Digest and go and say wp-admin, you will see it's a WordPress website. So I build these UIs on top of WordPress to save a lot of time with user management, with databases, with API endpoints, with security. All this is handled with WordPress, so I can focus only on creating the UIs. You can see this is the dashboard, and the idea is very simple. I add this snippets plugin and I generate the code for the front end. You can see here, this is the snippet for the front end code. And here I'm using a JavaScript library called Alpine.js. And for styling, I use Tailwind. This is why you see this simple, clean user interface with this combination, Alpine.js plus Tailwind. And the secret is, I discovered this JavaScript library recently and I have never coded with it before. I have no idea about it. What I do is simply use AI to generate the full codes for me. I just copy and paste in the snippets. I mentioned last week my secret setup on development, which is VS Code with client extension here and Cloud Sonnet for the API provider, Anthropic, which is a perfect combination to develop anything you want with AI without writing the code yourself. And if you want to learn more about building SaaS on WordPress and how I monetize this system, if you go, for example, to Promoter Kit, my other website, and if you log in, you see we have here tokens. So people can buy tokens to use my tools on Promoter Kit. If you want to learn more about this technique, monetizing WordPress as a SaaS business, you can check this video here. I explained this in detail, how to integrate the credit system inside WordPress and how to build the user interfaces. Go now, watch it, and if you learned something new today, don't forget, smash the like button and see you in the upcoming video.